Alright guys, reviews and more, back with another men's fragrance review. This is MCM Diamond, and this was a kind of surprise pickup from Ross of all places. You can see that right there, the price $30 at Ross for 50 mil. I cannot find this anywhere online that's reputable except for Macy's, and it's like 80 bucks for this size. So even if I were to cut this down to being 50 bucks for 50 mil, it'd still be $1 milliliter, and this was 30, so it's under $1 milliliter, so we did a good job as far as price is concerned. So let's go ahead and jump in. This fragrance came out late 2024 by what I've been able to find, and overall, the fragrant notes seem to be a little more gourmandy than I typically grab for men's fragrances, but it's the main thing you're gonna get is bergamot, cappuccino, and juniper in the opening, so citrus, pine, and coffee all together, maybe like a lactonic kind of coffee. Then you get middle notes of plum, lavender, and heliotrope, followed by base notes of Australian sandalwood, tonka, and oud. So we get a woody kind of breakdown on the bottom notes. Let's go ahead and pop this out. This should have a little bag design, and that's what it's got right there. Cute little design. I think the 75 mil is just like taller, so this is like a short version of it. Looks cool, looks like my wife, I actually got my wife MCM Ultra, so that's like kind of a peachy, fruity, floral kind of deal. And let's go ahead and see what this thing's all about. Get a little tester strip, get the smell, and then we'll kind of jump out a little bit for a little while, then we'll jump back in once the dry down kind of taking place. So let's go ahead and check it out. The atomizer is nothing really to write home about. It does the job, but it's integrated into the bag, so if you can't see that, there it goes again. Okay, okay, I get why, it definitely smells like cappuccino. So it's like, imagine a cappuccino mixed with, honestly, what I'm getting more of this is the plum in the heart notes already. Plum, lavender, cappuccino with a little bit of like a bergamot kind of zest in there. Juniper's in there, but it's kind of in the background, it's not in the front. But yeah, so far I'm getting plum, lavender, and that cappuccino. So you get kind of like a coffee lactonic kind of note breakdown there. Very nice, very pleasant in the opening. I enjoy that. Definitely winter and fall as far as fragrance breakdown. This is not a summer spring, so I got it now, but I'm probably not gonna wear it much until at least in my neck of the woods, maybe late September at the earliest, when it starts getting a little cooler outside. But yeah, that's a very, very nice opening fragrance. Very masculine, a little more mature. I wouldn't, if I were a 19, 22-year-old kid, I wouldn't want to wear this. But in my pushing 40s, yeah, this is right up my alley. I'm glad I got this already. So we'll jump back in once that dry down takes place, and we'll describe kind of those notes once the dry down's taken place. All right, so it's the future, and I've gone through the dry down, and it makes sense, and it's still a very nice fragrance. So again, it opens up with that bergamot and the cappuccino, which really is coffee plus cream. That's what I'm kind of getting from it. It's not a really dry, smoky kind of coffee grounds kind of smell to it. It really is a very creamy, velvety kind of cappuccino mixed with milk kind of fragrance, like steamed milk. If you ever had like a nice cappuccino that's heavy on the cream. So that's what you kind of get from it. Now those creamy notes, the laconic notes kind of fade away relatively quickly and leave you with that coffee still in there, and it always kind of plays a role until the final dry down, that oud and the sandalwood and tonka kind of take over. But on paper, the plum note sticks around for a long time. On my skin, the plum notes are gone within 15-20 minutes. So if plum's not your deal, they go away on my skin pretty quickly, but if you were like, you had your heart set on that plum note sticking around for a long time in the heart notes, they really don't, in my experience. The lavender and heliotrope kind of pop in there, and they kind of take over for about the next hour or so, and they really do kind of just take the lead. You get like this coffee mixed with lavender, mixed with heliotrope. It's a little powdery, very, very nice and clean. It's the only part of this fragrance that I would say leans feminine. The rest is mostly just kind of masculine, standard fragrances. Then the sandalwood dry down is very nice, very smooth with the oud. The oud is what kind of gives me that masculine vibe overall with that dry down, and the tonka bean, that sweet kind of almost vanilla kind of aspect to it. It's a very addictive smell. I will say this, it is very, very strong. You can fill a room with this without trying too hard, so be aware of that. So if you're someone who's worried about offending a group of people who don't necessarily want to smell you that much, this might not be the way to go. But for fall, winter, nighttime, this is just an excellent choice. And it's very, very nice, very well done, nice and well blended. Nothing super sharp or off-putting unless you're someone who just isn't into filling a room. So just be careful. One or two sprays will take care of you, and you will smell for a good chunk of the day, because all these notes, all these breakdowns are very, very long lasting. And yeah, great little find at Ross for 30 bucks. Very happy with it. It's going on the rack for the winter time because it's a little bit too, the notes aren't really conducive to hot summers and springs that we get here in the South. So we're gonna wait till fall and winter to wear this around the nighttime.